Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Blake Bortles and the reigning AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars take on a man back for a 15th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their men in blue emerging from the MetLife tunnels. We're set to go as the Giants get ready to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And you can see why he was the number 3 pick when he came out in the NFL draft. 6'5", sturdy guy, strong arm, led his UCF team to a big bowl victory over Baylor, and runs the ball way better than he's ever given credit for.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Safarian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Good job, D. Good job. That's the way you fly to the ball.
They go play action here on first down. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Leonard Fournette. And a nice spin into some open field.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Leonard Fournette. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And that, not a sight you want to see. Leonard Fournette very slow to get up. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back.
Let's go, let's go.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. B.J. Goodson coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. Bortles now on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And now it's 2nd down. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
Coming off a Pro Bowl in 2017 is Landon Collins, who was an All-Pro 2 years ago and got many votes for NFL Defensive Player of the Year. This is a guy that we know is what we call box safety, almost like an extra linebacker in his ability to tackle and hit. But his coverage ability as a safety has improved since he's been in the league, and his ball hawking is getting better each and every year.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he finds Seferian-Jenkins. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order...
And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee, 32 yards. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. It'll be the now 37-year-old quarterback calling the shots in his 15th season at the helm of the Giants, Eli Manning.
When you look at the numbers that Eli Manning posted in 2017, there's plenty of cause for concern. Lowest yards per completion of his career, fewest yards passing since 2008. His numbers continue to drop in terms of touchdowns and rising in terms of interceptions. But he's one of the fiercest competitors in the league, even if you can't tell it by his demeanor. And no, you don't hear about his workout program like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But this is a guy that burns to win and wants to get back on the top of the heap.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Great time to focus on a healthy group of pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just about any threesome in the NFL. Two terrific wide receivers and a tight end that's hard to cover.
Back to the air on second down. It's Manning. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. We get a look now at the Giants defense as they file into position. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side. I missed that. Totally missed it.
Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
A beautiful spin and room to run. And he is down deep into Giant territory. It's a big play for the Jaguars. And even 50 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Bortles now to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Telvin Smith coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Remember this Jacksonville D, 55 sacks a season ago.
I think they want to fight for nicknames. Supremacy with Pittsburgh. Remember, they were just one behind Pittsburgh for the overall lead in sacks last year.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Myles Jack in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. A good return there, call it 13 yards. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now a play fake. Bortles. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Again, it's Fournette. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
I like the comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can up his utilization in the passing game. But what really impressed me was down the stretch in the divisional playoff game against Pittsburgh, hurt his ankle, left the game for a while, and came back and helped power his team to a big victory. Remember, he had some games at LSU that kept him out of a few games. I thought that was a breakthrough for Leonard Fournette.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. T.J. Yeldon taking it in. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously have to get better. But believe it or not, you know who can really help them there? Their head coach, Pat Shurmur. Comes from a defensive family, understands how valuable it is, and loves the toughness and the identity that a good defense can provide.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well,